Hi, I'm Abhilash, the UPSC Civil Service Examination Mentor, and this is our third episode. And in this episode, we are going to talk about how every line is a question. Turn your DAF into smart scoring answers. तो ऐसा तो नया तो कुछ नहीं है, आपने जो भी DAF लिखा है उसी के ऊपर बात होगी. And how you are going to use it, this is where the interviews are won or lost. First and foremost thing, why does this skill matter? ये एक स्किल सेट है. How to turn your this thing. Your DAF is the question generator. अगर आप मास्टर करोगे, if you master this technique, you'll never be surprised in the board will ask you from education, from your job, from hobbies, from state or the district, from service preferences. So your job is to explain calmly and clearly. इस सारे इंफॉर्मेशन का, इसका जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है, 70% तो जो डैप से वो ले रहे हैं, this is already mentioned by you. You have written it. So you must be knowing about the story, why those are your answers. And clarity on those answers, वो जो आपने डैप में लिखा है, वो आपको वहां पे मोस्ट काम एंड स्टेबल पर्सनैलिटी suitable for the job दिखाते हैं. So hence we have to see how we are able to categorically or in fact make more out of जो हमने वहां से लिखा है. इसके लिए आपको एक चीज सोचना पड़ेगा कि यू हैव टू नाउ थिंक लाइक एन ऑफिसर. अगर आप सोचोगे कि इफ यू आर थिंकिंग लाइक अ स्टूडेंट, या जैसे आप कॉलेज में पढ़ रहे हो, प्लेसमेंट का इंटरव्यू आपने दिया होगा कि यू दिस काइंड ऑफ माइंडसेट्स जो प्रीवियस इंटरव्यूज के, इफ यू गो बाय दैट काइंड ऑफ ए थिंग, तो आपका एप्टीट्यूड सुटेबल नहीं आएगा. यू हैव टू थिंक लाइक एन ऑफिसर. योर माइंडसेट हैज टू चेंज. And in officer mindset, it is more on focus on why and how. It connects experiences to public service values. It is honest about limitations, but confident in judgment. एक जिम्मेदारी होती है ऑफिसर माइंडसेट में, and that is how it is reflected. So I hope this takes time. I'm sure. And whatever I'm saying, the mindset change ऐसे नहीं कि मैंने बोल दिया और आपको आ गया ना. It takes time because most of the time we are so ingrained in our thought process. We do not know कब ये mindset change होता है. But अगर आप थोड़ी सी books पढ़े, you change yourself, or try to have a different perspective. कोई कोई मूवी में देखें how they manage, how the actors manage एक role को, तो you will realize कि वो एक perception build करता है आपके mindset में कि if he is an authentic officer, so he is going to behave like this. आप भी predict कर पाते हैं साथ साथ because that persona is impressed upon your brain. So how do we achieve it? तो उसका एक फॉर्मूला ये है कि हम उसे 5 क्वेश्चन फॉर्मूला बोलते हैं. सो एवरी डैफ एंट्री जो आपने लिखा है, यू शुड बी मैप थ्रू 5 सिंपल क्वेश्चंस. पहला, व्हाट इज इट? अ फैक्चुअल डिस्क्रिप्शन. सेकंड, व्हाई डिड यू चूज इट एज योर आंसर? आपने क्यों लिखा हुआ? व्हाई इज इट योर डिसीजन मेकिंग? देन अगर व्हाट डिड यू लर्न फ्रॉम इट, उसके बारे में, व्हाट डिड, हाउ डज इट impact you as a person and what did you learn? Fourth question is, what challenges did you face? It would have added to so many things. इतना easy तो नहीं हो, केक वॉक तो नहीं होगा. कुछ टाइम डाला है आपने, कुछ 1 साल 2 साल whatever. What challenge did you face? Fifth is, how does this help in civil services? आपने वहां से जो भी सीखा, how can you align it to the role of public servant? If you can answer these 5 questions naturally, your DAF will become your strength. Are you getting this? मैं चाहता हूँ आप इसका एक स्क्रीनशॉट लो so that you are able to look around back again. Now coming to the next part, how does the board test your depth? A board को doesn't matter how you are framing, मेरी English, Hindi, बहुत सारे challenge. People have this English should be good, use of choice of word. ये सब superficial है. What they're caring or they're looking at the interview time is your clarity of thought. कितना clear आप. your maturity, your simplicity, your originality, and your balanced answer. भाई आप अपना जर्नी, अपना 21-22 साल का जर्नी, you have gone through it. What exactly is, you know, how do you analyze your journey? तो आप उस एनालिसिस को कैसे बताओगे? How are you, that exposition part which I mentioned in the first episode? How are you going to express it? That is where his clarity comes. Let's apply this. For example, अगर आपका लिखा हुआ है बीटेक in mechanical engineering, then why did you do mechanical engineering? Why did you choose this branch? What is mechanical engineering? What did you learn beyond syllabus? One challenge you overcame. How does it help you as an officer? तो यहाँ पे वो क्या टेस्ट कर? Your decision making, your curiosity, your problem solving, your reflexes. But what was your age when you chose this? Imagine. So you were some 16, 17 years of age. The question is, what is it? You say it is study of machines or thermodynamics or mechanics of machine. Why did you choose it? Because at that age I was very fascinated with automobiles. I could see, I wanted to learn more about how engines operate. I found it very fascinating. What did you learn? It was an engineering course. It did not just talk about one engine functionality, but it tried to explain from end to end how you run factories, how you run manufacturing, how you run processes, how you move the world in short, systemize, process. What were the challenges? Challenges was theoretical learning to practical experience. As an engineer, we have to balance it. It was not of whether you can go and operate a machine. You should be aware how the machine is operated and how much time does it take to complete a task. So that when you design your work, you know that this is the total work, manpower, or man talent required for all this thing. Those were the aspects of it. Relevance. Relevance is firstly resource management, optimized mindset, delivering services, project planning. All this kind of thing can be learned through an engineering task. Next comes your hobby. You see, you would have written a hobby. आपने उसमें कुछ भी लिख दिया होगा, रीडिंग लिख दिया होगा, रनिंग लिख दिया होगा. So they ask you, what is this hobby? What does it add on to you? Why do you enjoy singing? What kind of genre do you prefer? What does music teach you? How does it help in being a civil servant? So you need to know, because if you are enjoying, if you are able to inculcate habit of learning something and which adds to your personality, bilkul, you have to be answering the same thing. But if you have just written for the sake of to fill the space or some expertise दिखाने के लिए, or try to trap him with some over technical questions, then you will be easily caught. Everybody enjoys sometime. Your 24 hours is divided into so many aspects. This hobby में भी time देने से it enhances your productivity or your own thoughts. Now, बहुत लोगों के पास work experience होगा. Maybe you are having a job. So here it is not about what you are doing just like that or you're professional like human. अब किसी भी role में, you have to see, when you talk about your work experience, आपने क्या जिम्मेदारी ली है? What is the responsibility? What do you do in your job in your 24 hours? What did you learn about people? What kind of conflict you handle or manage? How do you think your job prepares you for public service? आप जो भी करते हैं पब्लिक सर्वेंट के रोल के लिए आप कैसे प्रिपेयर हैं? So this gives you an insight. Then comes the next part is home state and district. Now this is about your roots. तो इसमें तो आपको थोड़ी सी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का वेबसाइट, डिस्ट्रिक्ट का वेबसाइट जाके वहाँ से डिटेल निकालना चाहिए, डेटा वाइज ऑल्सो, whether it is a developed region, backward region, the geography of the region, what are the essentials around that, agriculture or employment or water resource, hill, whatever it is. What are the major problems, and what if you are the district collector of that, what will you do about it? तो ये सारे पार्ट आपको करना पड़ेगा. You have to think of, do your own research, and learn from. Mostly these websites, state government websites, have the data which you need for it. Things which you should avoid: dangerous answer style, defensive, बोलते बोलते सर जैसे उन्होंने बोला फटाक से नहीं सर ऐसा नहीं है सर, नॉट नॉट लाइक दैट. So don't be defensive like that. You have to listen to them first. And over ideological, like you are talking to, you say something about Hindutva happened and you say Akhand Bharat and you say everything like that. See, those things in that interview does not apply. If you use all this thing, you are out of it, because you have to be very sticking to the constitutional values and the rule of. Or mostly what happens is, when the third part is your over years, many times I have seen that people try to mug up the script in English because their English is weak. But I must tell you, in UPSC these days, even the interview board says, "आप कौन से भाषा में बोलना चाहेंगे?" You say, "Sir, I've written in English." No, if you are comfortable in Hindi, speak in Hindi. They want to hear you. They want to hear your audience. But don't put yourself into this language barrier thing when you're talking for interview. जहां पे आपका एक्सप्रेशन अच्छा होगा, यूज दैट वर्ड. मिक्स करो तो मिक्स करो, कोई बात नहीं, बट यू शुड बी जेन्युइन. सो आई हैव अ काइंड ऑफ इतने सारे मसालों में इतने सारा ये करके, आई हैव काइंड ऑफ फिगर्ड आउट अ वे इन व्हिच you can put your mindset always. Be simple, be honest, be balanced, be connected to values, something which makes you feel very responsible and अफसर लाइक. वैसा एटीट्यूड एंड माइंडसेट के साथ आप सवालों को परख के बोलें, यू विल बी enjoying your answer and they will also applaud you. Now let me tell you before we close down that about the personalized mentorship program. If you want to do, what you get is a DAF analysis, a session around it, manifestation and personality, and few videos on OLQs and communication. And there will be further session if we have time about current affair, and mostly talking to you, understanding and listening to you, and whatever your experiences, we try to build in your story, things like that. So you can reach out to me. All the informations are there in the thing. It's a chargeable paid program, and you pay only when if you are there in the final list, not beforehand. So you start right now. So you can see in the description the details to reach out to. Now closing, the final takeaway, that first, the formula which we learn here is 5-question formula and your honesty. So your DAF is everything, and how you manage your staff is the story. So every line on your DAF is a window into your own personality. So with this, we close today's session, and next episode we speak about if it is your first interview and how to use your freshness as an advantage. डरना नहीं है for first timers, and it can be the biggest advantage for your interview. With this, thank you for watching the session. All the best. Thank you again.